Average citizens are usually the victims of any large-scale deployments of unbalanced power. Think COVID vaccines, war, and now AI. Aging gloriously is about having discernment in difficult times about controversial things. And currently, one of the most controversial things is AI. When it comes to bewildering and scary AI, we have to use some common judgment by asking some simple questions. Aging allows for such judgments over time, based on previous experiences of searching and testing out many good and bad things for personal or professional edification. So with AI, let us view it with one very simple idea that we can ask from experience. Does it make our lives more worthwhile? Now, this is not a question about whether it makes our lives easier or more enjoyable. This is about what we would have to suffer or sacrifice for some ultimate impact that would extend beyond ourselves. If something is worthwhile, not only is the ultimate positive impact expected, but it also implies that the suffering or sacrifice was worth it for that final payout. So then, under these parameters, we have to consider the sacrifices we'd have to endure now, i.e., what are the real downsides to AI use currently? Firstly, AI is not regulated while being commercially available for any and every use, for ill or for gross aggrandizement. Thus, it's kind of a mess right now. Since AI is not regulated yet, this means that anyone, including nefarious actors, fascist governments, young impressionable students, and even your enemies and competitors can experiment and overuse the application in unfair practices and abuses against you for professional or personal aggrandizement. This includes breaching copyright laws and crossing the lines of social and cultural mores that span proliferation of misinformation, fake revenge porn, deep fakes of institutional figures and celebrities, altering images of real events indiscriminately, promoting racism, and the list goes on and on and on. The power of these applications are backed by all the big tech giants who have tremendous political influence and commercial control over AI deployment in the market. This means AI is being marketed as some magical tool that can make our lives easier, but we'd have to wonder whose lives are actually going to be positively affected. Who is going to actually benefit here? Any substantial gains, profit or otherwise, would most certainly be expected to be harnessed by those big companies. Plus, any real meaningful AI regulation will likely get delayed or become ineffective, just as the controversial Section 230 prevents any social media services from being held legally responsible for any objectionable content. For the rest of us, whether we're either just the average citizen of a first or third world country or some individual with specialized skills, will only get swept up into whatever web cost of mass reaping. But what are the intentions behind AI? What is the vision? It's not just what big tech companies, governments, or even optimists say. It's what the actual creators from the ground up say that matters. So when you dig out any interview of these creators and developers of the main AI applications, you'll find that they are socially poor individuals with very dystopian personal views of the world. Perhaps not surprisingly, the proof is simply in their unhealthy obsession with achieving a singular goal at the expense of a social life, and without regard to civics or socio-political repercussions. And they are often unmarried, without children, without a significant other, and regard pets as better companions than human beings. So, is AI worthwhile right now for all the enjoyable or fun bits that it might bring us now? Making videos on YouTube using AI or playing around with it isn't on the same order of consequence on the question of worthwhileness. But when we consider the imbalances AI is currently creating and is capable of creating on a disproportionate scale, are the vulnerable generations, young and old, at the mercy of a singular vision driven by abnormal creators and controlled by unscrupulous interests really worth it?